How you doing everyone? Scott here. I'm back with an update at last. It's been about 2 weeks, so it's well overdue. The majority of my update is going to be CDs. I've got one vinyl record to show, mainly because nothing's really caught my eye, and albums that did catch my eye were just a tad too expensive. So I've mainly concentrated on CDs, but there's another reason for that as well. Well, one reason is they were cheap as anything. But there's another reason as well, so I'll get into that when I get to the CDs. So, one vinyl, bunch of CDs, but first of all, I'm going to show you a book. And I picked this up yesterday from HMV. Now, I always go into HMV, have a browse around everything. I just love being in HMV, it's just got good stuff. So, I was checking out the books, and the books in HMV are usually pretty cheap. I mean, you can pick up most autobiographies, biographies, and the likes for like a £5. But I saw this book and it really caught my eye, and it's called Hellraisers, a complete visual history of heavy metal mayhem. So I thought, that sounds right up my street. So what it is, it's a fun book. I mean, if you're after a huge amount of detail about certain periods or certain bands, this isn't the book. But it's a funny book, and it has got good stuff in it. So when you get to the first page, it says, "This book is dedicated to the Birmingham sheet metal machine that ripped off 2 of Tony Iommi's fingers. Thanks for everything." So that's the first wee foreword at the start, and then basically it's got the contents. It's got the metal ages, so it goes through like the new wave of British heavy metal, glam, thrash, death, grindcore, black metal, doom, new metal, metalcore, and it basically just gives you maybe 6 or 7 pages of the big bands of the time and what the whole kind of movement of that subgenre of heavy metal was about. And then you've got crash courses, so it maybe has 1 or 2 pages on hardcore, alternative metal, goth, Viking, pagan, folk, pirate, groove, sludge, industrial, power, prog. So you get kind of wee snippets of those kind of genres. And it also does cultural studies. So it goes through, like, the first one is metal bassists, fewer strings, less respect. It goes through metal mascots, stuff like that. I mean, it's just a fun book. So what it does, it gives you, at the start, well, I'll go for glam metal, because this is the first part of the book I read. And it goes through what it is, who listens to it, where does it come from, the Bastard Children, which is like the subgenres that came off of that subgenre, and the Big Four. So it's basically the writer's Big Four, or who he thinks is the Big Four of that subgenre. So, for example, glam metal. What is it? It is poppy, theatrical arena rock, generally made by men who dress in drag. Who listens to it? People who carry pocket mirrors for the dual purpose of constantly being able to check their appearance and always have a flat surface from which they can snort cocaine. Where does it come from? The capital of the superficial and sleazy, Hollywood. Bastard children, i.e. subgenres that have come off of that subgenre? None. It's hard to reproduce with hepatitis. And the Big Four, in the writer's opinion, is Guns N' Roses, Motley Crue, Skid Row, and Poison. So as you can see there, it kind of goes through, and it goes through that with every single genre, and then it kind of goes into a bit of detail of bands that kind of started it, and so it's Kiss, Twisted Sister, Van Halen, got Quiet Riot, Motley Crue, and it just kind of goes through a bit of detail about what the time and the era of that kind of subgenre was like. And then at the end you get your homework, which it basically gives you a list of around 20 songs to go and look up. So if you're new to, say, listening to glam metal, it gives you a list of songs like this. So it gives you the band, the song, and the album and the year. So, for example, Kiss, Rock and Roll All Night, Van Halen, Eruption, Twisted Sister, Quiet Riot, Rat, Dokken, Wasp, Motley Crue, Cinderella, Faster Pussycat, Poison, Winger, Warrant, Slaughter, LA Guns, Guns N' Roses, Skid Row, Saigon Kick, Extreme, Ugly Kid Joe. And then, so that's basically the glam metal. So yeah, it's a good fun book. And like I said, if you're not into, I mean, if you want masses of detail, this isn't for you. But it's a fun book to read. And next up we go to, what's the next one? Death metal and grindcore. So here we go. That's that, and then it goes through bands like Obituary, Death, Possessed, Napalm Death, Deicide, and all that kind of good stuff. It's a good read. Entombed. There's one. You can't teach an old zombie new tricks, apparently. And then again, that's your homework. That's your death metal songs you can look up as inspiration for that genre. So yeah, really good. Hellraisers. Pick it up if you like that sort of thing. So, onto the vinyl. The only vinyl I picked up, but it was also an HMV, and it was cheap as chips. It was on sale, and it was on sale for $10.99, so I was all over it. And it is Testament's debut from 1987, The Legacy. This is the 2017 reissue. It comes with the paper inner with lyrics and photo, and also comes on this green vinyl. I won't go into too much detail. This has been shown quite a lot in the VC, MC, CD, VD. So that is that. Don't know how many times you want me to spin that, but I'm getting a nice wee draft off it. So right, that's that. Need a wee drink. Right, on to the CDs. So the story with the CDs, I've really just not bought CDs, or a lot of CDs, for months, and I just kind of thought I need to start adding some CDs into my collection again, because there were so many I wanted. I was looking through my watch list on eBay and Amazon, and it was just, the list was just going like that. So I thought, right, I'll try and wipe some of these CDs off the list, and most of these are pre-owned. So I mean, they were so cheap. I mean, some of them were coming in like under £2 delivered. We do have a company here called Music Magpie, so you can sell your CDs to them for, they'll give you maybe 50p, a pound for your CDs, and then they'll sell them on at £3. So they do have an eBay shop, so always check them. And they've always got really obscure CDs as well, so if you are after the kind of more rarer CDs, you can buy them off Music Magpie for a pretty good price. So that's what I did. I've also just got, well, not just got, in the last year got a new iPod. So at my work, I've got loads of time to just plug in and work. I can just listen to songs, listen to albums all day on my iPod, and I just couldn't do my job without it, because I'd just be bored out my tree. So I did have one of those small iPod Nanos, I think they are. There's a wee square one. But I mean, it's years old, it's scratched, scuffed, got chips out of it. Because I have a physical outside job, it's just got ruined. So I mean, it still works, but I was looking for something a bit better. And it's only 8 gig, so it only held around 850 songs, which I kind of had to keep rotating because you just get bored of the same songs over and over again. So anyway, for a wedding present, which was over a year ago, my wife got me a new iPod Touch, 64 gig iPod Touch. So I was just like, holy shit, how much room do I need for songs, or for albums? So it turns out we needed to update our computer, and Apple were just pissing about, and we're trying to get the computer updated. So because when we plugged the iPod in, because the laptop needed updated, it wouldn't recognise the iPod because the iPod was like superior to the update on the computer. So we finally got that done, and I put a lot of CDs on. A lot I didn't, because I've listened to the CDs a million times, and if I hear one of those CDs at work, I will just, I don't know what I'll do, maybe crash the van into a lamppost or something. So I left quite a few CDs off. If you don't know, my CDs are up there, I'm looking at them. So I left quite a few off, and I thought this is a good time to just pick up a lot of new stuff and stick that on as well. So I've got a lot of new stuff to listen to. So let's get into it. The first one is, and you'll find I've got a lot of these on vinyl, but the ones I don't have on vinyl, they're going to be hard to come by on vinyl, so I bought them on CD. So the first one is Tesla, and their debut from 1987, Mechanical Resonance, which is awesome. Love this album. I do have it on vinyl, but very glad to pick it up on CD. Now I do have the function of I can plug my turntable into the laptop and rip the album from the record onto the laptop, but for me that is just... So I thought these CDs were so cheap, I just thought I'd just pick them up on CD and then stick them on the iPod. So that is a Tesla Mechanical Resonance. And another thing, I got a new car in the last couple of weeks, and it didn't come with a CD player because everything's Bluetooth now. So that's another reason for getting songs on my iPod, because I'm not listening to the radio all the time, and I do a lot of listening to music in the car. It's a good 35-40 minutes to my work, so it's a good chance to get CDs on. Second one is another Tesla from 1991, I think. Yes, 1981. This is Psychotic Supper, another amazing album from Tesla. So that is well and truly on the iPod. And I'm so glad I've got these on now, because before I was getting to the point where you're just listening to the same albums over and over again, and you were switching them over, and then you were listening to them over and over again, and you're switching them all back. So this is a good load of new stuff that I can listen to. Next one up is an album that's very hard to find on vinyl, and if you do find it on vinyl, you're going to be paying out the nose for it. So I actually got this brand new and sealed, and it's Firehouse Hold Your Fire. Amazing album. I do have the debut, it's on its way, so that'll be coming in shortly. So really happy to pick that one up, because that will never be getting picked up on vinyl unless I win the lottery. Next is from Danger Danger. This is their second album, Screw It, from 1991 again. Again, going to be really hard to pick that up on vinyl, so CD will have to do. The next one is from a band that I've seen get mentioned a lot on YouTube from you guys, and it's a band that I've just never ever really paid much attention to. And I don't know why. It might be the whole name thing that Metal Mickey mentioned, but it's from Disturbed, and a lot of you guys started to suddenly mention Disturbed, and I thought maybe I should give these guys a shot, because I think they might be pretty good. And turns out they are pretty good. So I had no idea what order their albums go in, but I bought this one, and it's Indestructible. This is from... this didn't come out in a year, so... What year did it come out in? Don't know. Let me just quickly check. Nope, can't read that either. Yeah, so I got this one. No idea when it came out, but it's pretty good. So, ding! Next one. This is an album that it's rare to find on CD and even rarer to find on vinyl. And it's from Extreme, and it's their third album, 3 Sides to Every Story. Great stuff. I think this is the last Extreme album with the original lineup, and it's a bit of a concept album. So you've got the 3 sides to every story. You've got yours, mine, and the truth. So every section has a different kind of musical style. So you've kind of got the yours, which is kind of really like hard rock, groove rock, and then you've got the mine, which is a bit kind of calmer, a bit more acoustic, and then you've got the truth, which is more kind of, it's longer, the songs are longer, so it's like progressive, signature changes and all that kind of stuff. So yeah, really good stuff though. I love this album. So that is that one. Next one up is, I actually bought an HMV, and I don't know how many times I've had this in my hand and then put it down, and then I picked it up again and go, right, okay, no, I'll put it back. And this was a massive hole in my collection, so I thought to myself, just do yourself a favour and pick it up. And it's Queensryche's EP from 1983, self-titled. This is the remastered version, so you get the 4 original songs and you get a lot of live tracks as well, and extra tracks, so really good stuff. Finally picked that one up. Next one is, now I actually thought I had this CD. I've definitely got the vinyl, but you know, you're in the shop and you see it and you think, do I have that? Do I not have that? And I thought I had this. So I went to pick it up about a week ago, never picked it up, came home, checked my CDs, I thought, I'm sure I had this album. But turns out, I don't. So I thought, well, when I was in HMV again, I thought I'd pick it up. And it's Cinderella's Long Cold Winter, which I'm very surprised I didn't have on CD. Like I said, I had it on vinyl, but got some amazing songs in this. Coming Home is a great song. Don't Know What You've Got Till It's Gone is one of the best ballads ever written, I think. It's an amazing song, and Tom Kiefer's voice on it is awesome. Gypsy Road, yeah, Long Cold Winter, amazing. Great album from 1988. Next up, I have 2 remasters that were released this year, I think about a month ago, and it's from Saigon Kick. Yeah, released about, I'd say about a month or 2 ago. This is from 1990, and if you've not checked out Saigon Kick, I suggest you do, because they're absolutely awesome. They go from blistering guitar riffs, kind of like groove rock, and then they just play something completely different, then go back to the groove, hard riffs, and then completely different. It's quite a exciting album to listen to, I think, because you're kind of up, you're down, you're sideways. They go in all different directions on this, which I really like. It just kind of holds your focus. So that is their debut, and I also picked up their second release, The Lizard, which is even better than the debut, and again really holds your focus when you're listening to it, because so many things happen in different songs. You're like, where am I now? I mean, there's a song called The Lizard, which is like a blistering hard rock song, and then you go into another song that's just really, it's like alternative rock, I would say, mixed with 80s influenced glam and quite groove, if that makes any sense at all. But yeah, awesome. So check it out. That's Saigon Kick, The Lizard. In fact, check out the song The Lizard. Absolutely amazing. Next up is an album I do have on vinyl again. It's from 2016, but I really wanted this on CD. And it is Testament and Brotherhood of the Snake, which I think is an amazing album. And it's an album over the last 6 months that I just keep going back to again and again. Just some amazing stuff. I mean, not my favourite Testament album, but I think it's really, really good. And especially the first song, Brotherhood of the Snake, is an amazing song. Love that song. So that is a really good pickup. Next one is from a band that I've never been interested in, ever. I've heard their hits. I wasn't overly impressed with them. But the other day I was going to work and I was listening to the radio. I listened to a radio station called Planet Rock, and my new car now has this wee screen and it tells you what radio station you're on and what song's playing and the band that's playing it. So driving to work one morning and this song came on, I thought that's a great song, and it came up, Deep Purple. So I thought, alright, okay, I didn't know they played good music, because I've not really delved into Deep Purple, but it's one of those bands I've just never really been interested in. So the song was Perfect Strangers, and I thought, this is an amazing song. So I got home, stuck it on YouTube, and I absolutely loved it. This is a great album. So I just went and picked it up, saw it in HMV, and the deal was done. So that's my first Deep Purple album. So where do I go from here? Tell me. This was 1984, so I mean that makes sense, it's a good album. A lot of amazing albums came out in 1984. So yeah, first Deep Purple, Perfect Strangers. Next up is also one I have on vinyl that I've just really recently picked up, and I actually thought I got the CD with the vinyl, but turns out I didn't. So saw this and it was mine. The special edition digipack of Armoured Saint and Symbol of Salvation. Great album. John Bush, who was later with Anthrax. And if you've not checked out Armoured Saint, give them a shot. Amazing. So happy with that one. Next one is, this is an album I've been listening to for about a year. Never picked it up on vinyl, never picked it up on CD, never even seen the CD, and there was one in the shop when I was in, and I thought, yep, that is mine. And it is by the new wave of traditional heavy metal band Enforcer, and it's Death by Fire. Absolutely great album. Quite a short album, but great nonetheless. The first song I ever heard off this album was Mesmerised by Fire, and I loved it from my first listen. So this was always on the want list, and finally put it in the collection. So that's that one. The next two are from the same band. We're getting there, just hold on. Next two are from a band called Battle Beast. I do have their newest album, which is Bringer of Pain. But I think it was Rob, Blackstar Vinyl, he said, you've got to go back and listen to their older albums because their new one's really poppy. So I went and bought Steel and Unholy Saviour, and they're both amazing. So really glad to have them. Sorry, somebody's texting me and I'm trying to read it at the same time. Battle Beast, what do you want for tea tonight? So yeah, Battle Beast, amazing. If you've not heard Battle Beast, they're like hard rock plus 80s pop. It's really good, quite unique. Next one is an album I've been wanting for a while, and it's Death Angels Act 3. Another album I've been listening to for ages and ages and ages and ages and just never picked it up. And it's been on my want list on eBay and Amazon for about a year, and I've just never ever picked it up. So that is finally in the collection now. Just amazing. And I like how it's not just frantic. This is just, I think it's a really well thought out album. It's not just all the way through. That's not like a dance tune, but yeah, I think it's a really well put together album that just flows really well. So for a thrash album anyway. Next up, I'm going to try and speed this up. I'm in 25 minutes. Next up is Winger and In the Heart of the Young. I do have this on vinyl as well, but thought I'd pick this up. I think this was under £3 delivered to my door, so can't go wrong with a bit of Winger, unless you're Beavis and Butthead. I am looking for their debut and Pool as well. The next two, one I have on vinyl and one I don't. The one I have on vinyl is this, Warlock, Triumph and Agony. I always want to say Triumph over Agony. Triumph and Agony, the last album made by Warlock, which I do have on vinyl. Amazing album. And the one I don't have on vinyl is their debut, Burning the Witches, which is an amazing album. I've wanted this on vinyl for ages, and I've just never ever. It's hard to find. You don't really see it that often. But I saw this from the same seller as Triumph and Agony, and I thought I'd just pick them up at the same time. This is amazing. So glad to have that one. 2 to go. Let's hurry this up. I've got this on vinyl as well. Manowar, Sign of the Hammer, amazing stuff. Just man metal, oily, loinclothy man metal, if that's a thing. But yeah, love Manowar. And the last one is one I've been. This is like almost like a grail, because you'll never find this on vinyl, and if you do, you're like the luckiest person ever. And even to find this on CD for a good price is so hard. I mean, even in the shop, the remastered, I think it's a remastered version. It might even be the original version. It's like 12 quid, like still. But I picked this up for under a fiver, and this is an amazing album. Taiketo and Don't Come Easy. What, the title? Amazing album. This is a 10 out of 10 for me. Just awesome. Every track just holds you. You don't drift off, your mind doesn't drift. You just want to listen to every track all the way through. It's amazing. And I've been waiting so long to find this on CD that it wasn't 20 quid or, I mean, even 12 quid, because I know I'm patient. I know I can get it for cheaper, so I'm not going to rush out and buy it for 12 quid when I know I can get it for cheaper. So yeah, under a fiver, and it's amazing. If you've not heard this album, you've got to check it out. If these guys, it's the same old thing. If they'd come out earlier, they'd have done so well for themselves, but because the time they came out, early 90s, it just didn't go very far. But this album is a 10 out of 10 for me. Perfect album. Amazing. So, that is that done. I'm going to sign off because I've held you here for nearly half an hour. That's like the longest video I think I've ever done. Yeah, so that is my update. Hope you enjoyed. I hope you got to the end. If you have, well done. Give yourself a pat on the back. As usual, let me know what you think of my pickups. And I'll see you guys in the next video. Cheers.